Alrighty, folks, we are now 3-0 in our last three underdog tier package picks on my premium site. And the good news is I have another underdog tier package pick going off here today. And real quick, got to give a big congratulations to all you chairman members out there from my premium page, because you guys had yet another winning day. Chairman members cashing in on 4 more premium selections yesterday. We had the Phillies, Guardians, Astros, and Dodgers. And the only way you could have accessed all of those winners is to join my full access, all-inclusive chairman membership. And I'll explain a little bit more about all that in just a moment. But before we go ahead and move on, just want to take a quick timeout and welcome you to my Major League Baseball free pick video here today for Saturday, June 15th, 2024. Happy Saturday to you. Hopefully you had a great start to your weekend. And of course, my name is Brock Page. I've been dishing out free sports picks on YouTube since 2016. And once again, if you want to unlock every single premium selection I give out on my site, you're going to want to think about signing up for my full access, all-inclusive chairman membership. Now, chairman members get access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you also get access to my chairman podcast, absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. Now, once again, we are 3-0 in our last 3 underdog tier package picks, 2-0 in our last 2 Major League Baseball tier package plays. And finally, folks, we are 5-0 in our last 5 NHL tier package picks. And the good news is we have plays going off in all of those memberships here today, and they're all included with your purchase of the chairman package. The site is patreon.com/BrockPage. And with that, folks, we're going to dive right into some free content. We're going to start off with the A's at the Twins, 2:10 p.m. East. Minnesota's minus 210, totals 8.5. Bailey Ober for the Twins, Joey Estes for Oakland. Now, the righty Estes has just a couple of wins on the year and an ERA close to 5. And even if he does throw well here today, he's probably not going to get much run support. The A's are currently dead last in hits per game while traveling. And they're going to face Bailey Ober on the mound for Minnesota. 5-3 record, 1.19 whip. And out of these teams' last 10 head-to-head gatherings, the Twins have really pounded Oakland pitching. They average over 6.6 runs a game during that time frame. As far as this season's concerned, Royce Lewis is batting .382 with an OPS in the 1200s. And Carlos Correa bats .298 with 91 total bases. Now, total-wise, 3 out of Oakland's last 5 road games did fall under the number. They're also 7-3 to the under in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Twins minus 1.5, under 8.5. Next game, Cards, Cubs, 2:20 p.m. East. Chicago's minus $1.70, totals 8.5. Shota Imanaga for Chicago, Andre Polani for St. Louis. And Polani's got just 2 wins on the year and an ERA of 4.88. He's also backed by a bottom 5 run producing lineup on the road. And they're going to take on Shota Imanaga, who's been tough to hit against. The lefty's 6-1 with the Cubs with a 1.96 ERA. And out of these teams' last 10 gatherings, the Cubbies held St. Louis to just 3.4 runs a game. Now, injury-wise, Contreras and Nootbaar are still out for the Cards. When it comes to the total, 7 out of Chicago's last 10 ball games did fall under the number. The Cards also went 7-3 to the under in their last 10. Give me Chicago minus 170, under 8.5. Next game, Guardians, Blue Jays, 3:07 Eastern first pitch. Toronto's minus $1.20, totals currently off the board. Bowden Francis for the Jays, Carlos Carrasco for Cleveland. And even though Carrasco has not been great, he really doesn't need to be. The Guardians are a top 5 run-producing team. Steven Kwan's batting .377, OPS in the 900s. And Jose Ramirez, he has the second most RBI in the bigs. And they're facing Bowden Francis, who could very well get shelled here today. The righty's got an ERA in the 7s, 1.55 whip. And of course, at the plate, the Jays have had all kinds of problems producing runs at home. These guys are in the bottom 5 in runs per game in their own building. Give me the Guardians plus $1. Next matchup, Angels-Giants, 4:05 East. San Francisco's minus 145, totals 8.5. Keaton win for the Giants. Patrick Sandoval for Los Angeles. And I'll tell you what, Patty continues to fail. He's 2-8 with an ERA of 5.23. And out of these teams' last 10 meetings, the Angels have allowed nearly 6 runs a game on average. Of course, as a team, the Giants got the W in 5 out of their last 8. And they scored a considerable amount of runs in the process. Now, injury-wise, Wade is still out for the Giants. Luciano's also inactive. Meanwhile, for the Angels on the other side, Sano, Drury, and Adrianza are still inactive for them. Give me the Giants minus 145, under 8.5. Next game, Marlins Nationals, 4:05 East. Washington's minus $1.25, totals 9. DJ Hertz for Washington, Trevor Rogers for Miami. And when it comes to this pitching matchup, I guess you're going to end up siding with the lesser of two evils. But in this case, I think I'll continue to shit on Trevor Rogers. He's got a 1-7 record on the year, ERA in the 5s. He's also backed by a bottom 3 run producing lineup. And they're going to take on a Washington club who's actually hit Miami pitching quite well recently. Out of their last 10 meetings, the Nats averaged 5.7 runs a game. And out of the Nats' last 7 ball games this season, they got the W in all of those matchups besides one. Now, the Nationals are 6-5 to the under against the National League East at Nationals Park. Meanwhile, Miami saw 5 out of their last 7 divisional road games stay under the total themselves. Give me the Nationals minus $1.25. Under 9. Next game, Phillies-Orioles, 4:05 East. Baltimore's minus $1.85, totals 9. Grayson Rodriguez for Baltimore, Taijuan Walker for Philadelphia. And regardless of his numbers, the Phils love playing for Walker. He's recorded only 1 loss through 43-plus innings. And of course, as a team, the Phils won 6 out of their last 9. And they're doing a nice job in their interleague games. They're currently 11-4 against the American League. Alec Boehm's got the 4th most RBI in the majors. Bryce Harper's got an OPS of 919. They're taking on a Baltimore squad who's struggled with National League opponents this year. The O's now have a losing record in their interleague games. And as good as they hit the baseball at the plate, they're not overly selective. These guys are dead last in the majors in walks per 9 at home. I'll tell you what, when they're in the box, they're swinging. Now, injury-wise, Real Muto, Turner, Marsh, and Clemens, they're still out for Philadelphia. 7 out of the Phil's last 10 ball games did fall under the total. Meanwhile, Baltimore went 60% to the under in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Phillies plus 1.5, under 9. Next game, Reds-Brewers, 4:10 p.m. East. Milwaukee's minus $1.25, totals 9. Bryce Wilson for the Brewers, Andrew Abbott for Cincinnati. And as good as Abbott's been, well, he's got a handful of losses, and he does not have a winning record. And a lot of that is due to the bats, since he's a bottom 3 hit-producing team. And they're squaring off against a Milwaukee club who can certainly hit with the best of them. The Brewers are in the top 3 in runs per game at home. Christian Yelich bats .329, OPS in the 900s. And William Contreras, he's hitting .307. Now, 3 out of Milwaukee's last 4 home games stayed under the number. They also went 60% to the under in their last 10. Meanwhile, the Reds saw 6 out of their last 10 outings fall under the line themselves. Give me the Brewers minus $1.25, under 9. Next game, Tigers-Astros, 4:10 Eastern start time. Houston's minus $1.35, total 7. Justin Verlander for Houston, Jack Flaherty for Detroit. And even though Flaherty's been nearly unhittable, the Tigers just don't want to win for the guy. Somehow Flaherty comes into today's start with a losing 3-4 record. Meanwhile, as a team, Detroit lost 6 out of their last 8. And they're a bottom 10 hit-producing team. They're taking on Justin Verlander, who's been solid through 57 innings. The righty's recorded only 2 losses and has an ERA in the 3s. Of course, at the plate, the Astros are pounding the baseball at Minute Maid Park. These guys lead the bigs in hits per game at home. Mauricio Dubon's batting .302. Jose Altuve, .298. When it comes to the injury list, Tucker's still out for Houston. Carpenter inactive for Detroit. Now, 6 out of the Tigers' last 10 ball games did get over the total. They also went 7-3 to the over in their last 10 against Houston. So if you're into historical trends, plenty of overs to go around. Give me the Astros -135, over 7. Next game, Padres-Mets, 4:10 p.m. East. The Mets are -120, totals 8. Jose Quintana for New York, Adam Mazur for San Diego. And even though Mazur has stunk in a handful of innings, the Pods are currently the best road-hitting team in the game. Luis Ariz is batting .355, Jerks and Profar with an OPS in the 900s. And they're taking on Jose Quintana, who's recorded only 1 win through 66-plus innings. The lefty's currently 1-5 with an ERA in the 5s. And of course, at the plate, the Mets are hardly scoring any runs in Flushing, Queens. These guys average fewer runs a game at home than any other roster besides one. Give me the Padres +$1, over 8. Next matchup, Rays-Braves, 4:10 p.m. East. Atlanta's -145, totals 8.5. Charlie Morton for the Braves, Ryan Pepio for Tampa Bay. And even though Peps look good for the most part, he's certainly allowed his fair share of runs. The righty currently has an ERA of .417. Meanwhile, at the plate, the Rays have had all kinds of problems scoring. These guys are in the bottom 5 in runs per game. And they're facing a Braves club who's dominated the American League. They're winning 75% of their interleague home games this year. As far as the entire season goes, they're 16-9 against all American League opponents at any location. Marcell Ozuna's third in the bigs in homers. Actually, he's third in the bigs in homers, RBI, and OPS. And Ozzie Albies, he has the second most runs scored on the active roster. Now, out of 32 ball games at Truist Park this year, the Braves currently have a win percentage of .625. Michael Harris is still out for Atlanta. Tampa's last 3 straight on the road got over the number. They're also 60% to the over in their last 10 at any location. Give me the Braves -145, over 8.5. All right, next contest, Yankees-Red Sox, 7:15 Eastern start time. The Yankees are -$170, totals 8.5. Carlos Rodon for New York, Cooper Criswell for Boston. And I tell you what, Criswell does not have a winning record for the Bo Sox. Just 3 wins on the season, ERA in the 4s. And at the plate, the Bo Sox are definitely having problems making contact. They're striking out more times a game at home than any other lineup except for one. And they're going to take on Carlos Rodon, who's 9-2 with an ERA in the 2s. The lefty's also punched out 74 batters and has a stingy 1.05 whip. Now, even in the rare instance that Rodon has problems here today, his lineup of hitters behind him is scary. New York averages more runs a game on the road than any other organization besides one. Aaron Judge leads the league in homers, RBI, and OPS. And Juan Soto's got an OPS of .1023. That's the second best in the league behind Judge. Now, injury-wise, Gonzalez, Grissom, and Abreu are still out for Boston. When it comes to the total, 4 out of the Bo Sox last 6 home games did get over the total. They're also 7-3 to the over in their last 10 at any location. Now, New York went 70% to the over in their last 10 themselves. Give me the Yankees -170, over 8.5. Next game, Rangers-Mariners, 7:15 East. Seattle's -$130, total 6.5. George Kirby for the M's, Nathan Eovaldi for Texas. And I tell you what, there's really not much I can nitpick about when it comes to Eovaldi. He's been damn good this year. That said, though, these Ranger hitters have struggled with Seattle in recent gatherings. Out of their last 10 head-to-head meetings, the Rangers were held to just 2.9 runs a game. As far as this season's concerned, well, Luis Taveras, he's batting just .214. Adolis Garcia's got an OPS in the 600s. They're facing George Kirby, who's got a handful of wins and a bunch of strikeouts. The righty's fanned 78 batters and has a 1.02 whip. And when the Mariners are batting second, they're tough to beat. These guys are 9-2 straight up in their divisional home games. Now, injury-wise, Polanco and France are still out for the M's. Evan Carter inactive for Texas. When it comes to the total, the Rangers have gone 6-2 to the over in their divisional road games. Give me the Mariners -130, over 6.5. Next matchup, Royals-Dodgers, 9:10 p.m. East. The Dodgers are the $2 favorite. Total's 8.5. Yoshi Yamamoto for Los Angeles. Seth Lugo for Kansas City. And even though Lugo's been outstanding for KC, the Royals have hit a bit of a rough patch here. They've lost 5 out of their last 6. And they've certainly had troubles getting base runners. The Royals are currently in the bottom 10 in hits per game on the road. And there's a good chance we'll see more of the same here today. LA's got Yamamoto-san on the bump. He's 6-2 with 83 strikeouts and a 1.07 whip. Of course, at the plate, the Dodgers are walking more times a game than any other roster in the league. Mookie Betts has drawn 46 walks already, OPS in the 900s. And Teoscar Hernandez, he has the most home runs on the roster, most RBI as well. Now, injury-wise, Muncy's still out for the Dodgers. Renfroe inactive for Kansas City. And 3 out of KC's last 4 interleague road games stayed under the total. 3 out of LA's last 4 contests at Dodger Stadium fell under the line. Give me the Dodgers -1.5, under 8.5. All right, next game, Pirates-Rockies, 9:10 p.m. East. Pittsburgh's -165, totals 10. Jared Jones for the Bucks, Ty Block for Colorado. And even though the Rockies have been terrible for the most part, these guys do hit the baseball quite well in Denver. They're averaging more hits at home than any other roster besides one. Elias Diaz hits .303 at the plate. Zeke Tovar's got the most hits. And they're facing a Pittsburgh squad who just doesn't want to win for Jared Jones. The righty's got a losing 4-5 record despite some really good outings. And, of course, at the plate, the Pirates just don't hit the baseball on the road. They're in the bottom 10 in hits per game in their travels. Now, injury-wise, Bart, Bay, and Williams are out for the Pirates. O'Neal Cruz is questionable. Meanwhile, for Colorado, Bryant, Bouchard, Rogers, and Beck, they're inactive for them. Give me Colorado, +1.5, over 10. And with that, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. It's going to be in that White Sox-Diamondbacks game. That'll be a 10:10 Eastern first pitch. Arizona's -155. Total still off the board. Scott McGough for Arizona. Eric Fetty for Chicago. And I'll tell you, if anyone can screw up a brilliant Eric Fetty start here today, it's the White Sox. These guys have the worst record in baseball, and they are dead last in road scoring. Of course, out of 36 ball games in their travels, the White Sox took the loss in all of those road games except for 6. And they're taking on an Arizona squad who won 4 out of their last 5. And they lead the majors in run production. Give me the Diamondbacks -155. And with that, folks, we're going to jump into our quick pick recap. Give me the Twins -1.5, under 8.5. Cubs -170, under 8.5. I'm 3-0 my last 3 underdog tier package picks on my premium site. Give me the Guardians +$1, getting the job done for some money line cash. Giants -$1.45, under 8.5. Nationals -$1.25, under 9. Philadelphia +1.5, under 9 runs. Brewers -$1.25, under 9. Astros -135, over 7. Padres +$1, over 8. Braves -145, over 8.5. Yankees -$1.70, over 8.5. Mariners -130, over 6.5. Dodgers -1.5, under 8.5. Rockies +1.5, over 10. Give me the Diamondbacks -155, getting the job done for some money line cash. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium site. Now, if you do end up getting a membership here today on patreon.com/BrockPage, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my cheaper memberships absolutely free. They're going to be included with your purchase. That's why I always tell folks that Chairman Package, it's a full access, all-inclusive membership. Gives you access to every single premium selection of mine, every single package, every single day for the next 30 days. As an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all of my actually, I already said that. You're going to get access to all my cheaper memberships, but you're also going to get access to my Chairman podcast absolutely free. It's included with your purchase. But most importantly, folks, got to thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, folks, happy Saturday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium site at patreon.com/BrockPage.